Hello and welcome to another AB Talks. I'm delighted to be joined by Dean from Klint Ventures. So Dean, thank you for joining me. Starting off with a very simple question, can you tell me a little bit about Klint Ventures and what it is that you guys do?
Thanks, Matthew, for allowing me to be here. Yeah, let me go into a little bit of detail about Klint. So we're business builders, we're innovators, and we're disruptors. We are a tech-focused or tech-enabled business, Swedish venture capital business with its roots back to Sweden.
So maybe you could tell me a little bit about what Klint Ventures invests in. Where is your focus? Where are you deploying capital?
So as a business, we're sector agnostic. We will invest into multiple different types of businesses. Clearly our focus is within the Nordic countries, but specifically Sweden. As a business, we wish to be good corporate citizens to obviously improve and solve problems, but also bring shareholder value. Our focus primarily is on businesses which use technology as either an enabler or a disruptor in terms of their individual space.
We're speaking in a world with many venture capital firms, lots of different opportunities for investors. What makes you guys different?
I think there's two key reasons that differentiate us from our competitors. Number one, we're an investment company and not a fund. That brings a number of different tax benefits in terms of how it's physically structured. But secondly, and more importantly, is that one of the on our roadmap, our blueprint, is that we are looking to actually list the underlying structure of Klint Ventures at some point in the future within the next 3 or 4 years. That's within the blueprint, and that will differentiate us compared with other VCs, where we're looking to try and take something illiquid, liquid.
Can you give me an example of some of the investments that you've been involved in so far?
Yeah, like I mentioned before, we are sector agnostic, but we look to invest into companies where we see that we have an ability to add value to that underlying business. Two companies, for instance, in terms of where we have invested up until this point, would be an e-gaming company called Ringtail Interactive, which is actually looking to disrupt the market by actually changing the way that gaming platforms are developed and how they work in the future, by actually changing the development process. Give you an example. Typically, platforms are created on the basis where you have a front-end and a back-end developer. What they're looking to do is basically cut the time that it takes for a game to be created by just having a front-end developer. That will both save time in terms of actually developing a game and then bring it to market.
So obviously, as a venture capital firm, you have investors. What is the expected minimum holding period for an investor? What have you seen so far?
Typically for an investor, you'd be looking at a 4 or 5 year period. As a business, we have a target return of 25% on an annualized basis. That has been born through our track record and history in terms of how we've actually operated. But for someone that's looking to invest into this stage of companies' developments, we see a 4 or 5 year holding period as typical for investors.
So we're speaking here at Unite Dubai, talking about collaboration and bringing new investments, new trade and new economics. So why don't you tell me a little bit about the kind of relationship you have with the Middle East, where the opportunities are, and why we're here speaking in the Middle East?
But we're a business which is looking for investment from multiple different sources. We see the UAE as a region where we can look to support businesses both here locally, but potentially bring investment within Klint as well. Ultimately, we're looking for the best investment opportunities in terms of what we can bring within the structure, and we will reach out to investors both here locally and within the wider GCC to help support that journey.
Okay, Dean, thank you for joining me, and I look forward to the conference later this evening. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.